Hey everybody, it is Floods Worsen here from the Ed Boys, and today we're getting rich on a budget featuring Nex. We're going to be stretching the term budget a bit further than we have in the previous videos. Nex is one of the biggest DPS checks in the game, so you're not going to be able to kill it with like 2 mil worth of gear unless you had a ton of players in the fight, and our goal is to be doing teams of around 5. First, let's take a look at these stats. We've got 92 attack, 96 strength, 80 defense, 99 ranged, and 85 magic. Pretty high stats, even with a budget setup. For any boss and grind, your kills are going to be a lot smoother, and you're going to profit a lot more if you get your stats up. 80 plus stats is good to start with bossing, but 90 plus stats are going to be way better and help carry you if you don't have expensive gear yet. Specifically at Nex, we're going to need all the damage we can get, so it's even better with 99 attack and strength, but we should be fine. Let's go check the bank where I have already purchased the setup we will be starting with. I'm wearing a Helm of Nadasnot, Fire Cape, Blood Fury. The Osmundton's Fang is going to be our main weapon, a Dragon Defender, Carol's top and bottom, Barrow's gloves, Ancient D'hide boots, and an Imbued Berserker ring. In the inventory, we have a Dragon Crossbow, Ancient D'hide shield, Ava's Assembler, and a Carol's coif. The main expenses here are the Osmundton's Fang and the Blood Fury. Combined, those are like 25 to 27 mil. The rest of the gear would be pushing another 5 to 10 mil. Mixed Hide is a little bit cheaper than Carol's, and Mixed Hide is very good for DPS. I'm going to be going for a little bit better defense early on, but I will be using Mixed Hide later in the video. I then left another 10 mil for supplies. Nex doesn't really make any money until you get a unique, so if we go dry at first, I may actually need more than 10 mil in supplies. With budget gear, we're going to be spending more money per kill because the fight will be longer and we're using more potions and whatnot, but this should be plenty of money to get us our first unique, RNG be willing. So that puts us at like 45 to 50 mil as the starting budget. That is by far the largest starting budget of the series, but it is significantly less money than I see people claim that they're going to need to start with Nex. You also would only need to get halfway through one of the other 6 episodes on the series to be at this starting budget of this boss, and it's going to be the most money we've made on an episode so far. I did record this Nex grind a little while back. Some of it was before the last league, and the rest was a little bit after the league had ended when we got the team back together. Some of you super sleuths may notice that my XP is a little bit lower than it was in the Vorkath video. An even more glaring sign, though, is the difference in price of Ruby Dragon Bolts. Oh my god, dude. Every time that I look at it, it looks worse. I'm buying Ruby Dragon Bolts here for way cheaper than you're going to get them right now, but I am going to be using melee way more than I'm using ranged, and Nex is one of the bosses that you're trying to spend more money on because, like, the drops are expensive. We're just trying to get KC when we can. In fact, one of Nex's drops is also unfinished Dragon Bolts. So ironically, if we're not getting any uniques, those Dragon Bolt drops are kind of a big part of keeping up with potion money. So with Dragon Bolt prices being through the roof, it's more expensive to buy them for sure, but it's also kind of nice getting a little bit more supply money when trying to buy back some potions. For the rest of the supplies, I do have super combats, divine super combats, ranging and divine ranging potions, Ceridome and Brews, super restores, Sanfu serums, anglerfish, ruby dragon bolts, cosmic runes, fire runes, and blood runes for resurrecting thralls. And then I also bought some prayer potions. I'll be using those just when collecting ancient essence, that KC, before you can actually get into Nex's room. A huge thanks to OSRS Bricks for sponsoring this video. Use code THEED, it's THEED in all caps for 5% off at checkout. So I do have a Nex beginner's guide and a full Nex guide that breaks down all of Nex's mechanics in depth. If you're trying to learn any specific things about the Nex fight, it might be easier to find those answers in those guides, which are linked in the description. I am going to start off this grind by discussing what to focus on to be able to kill Nex in a small team with budget gear. Throughout the video, we're going to have a mix of Nex veterans as well as first-time Nex slayers on the team. If you have a full team of Nex newbies, you'll likely have a tougher time while learning. That's going to be the case for any high-level boss, to be fair. My first chunk of KC at Nex was not nearly as smooth because none of us on the team had done the fight in a small team before. After practicing and actually learning the mechanics, it turns out that Nex is not as difficult as it may seem. All of my teammates in this video are also forced to wear the budget setup, so we're not being carried by any other players with expensive gear. I sent them a screenshot of my setup and they all had to copy it. We've got 4 of us ready to go for kill number 1. Good luck luck, everybody. When you try out the next fight, you need to learn how to dodge like the avoidable hits first and foremost. Basically her special attacks, like the lane dash in the first phase, Fear the Shadow when she spawns those shadows under your feet and you have to move. These attacks are a bit more obvious to see when you did or did not dodge them correctly. If you do dodge all of the special attacks, you're going to save yourself a lot of bruise. So that's step one to surviving the fight in small teams. If you watch closely enough, you'll see that not everybody in the fight is perfect at dodging every attack. So it's not like one mistake and you're screwed, but you do want to avoid the avoidable damage. And that's because of all of the unavoidable damage too. During the next fight, Nex is going to target one player at a time and use either magic or melee attacks against them, unless you're in the shadow phase where it uses range instead of magic. When Nex uses its magic or range attack, it hits every player in her attack range, even though she's only targeting one player at a time. And if she uses her melee attack, she just swings at that one player she's targeting. Now, technically the blood phase, she uses blood barrage, so it only hits players that are close to the target, but still the main point here is that all players are pretty consistently getting hit by standard attacks, and those do hit through prayer. So during the fight, you will be taking damage no matter what. There is a little bit you can do to avoid this unavoidable damage, or at least take less of it so that you survive the whole fight. Basically, the only way to not take damage from Nex's standard attacks is if Nex is not using an attack. So if you can slow Nex down and make her attack less often, you're in a good spot. The only way that Nex doesn't attack every 4 game ticks is if her target is standing underneath her, or if her target is standing too far away and she has to chase them down. So long story short, the most important part of taking less damage during the next fight is just stepping under her. Like I said before, Nex will always be targeting one player at a time, so whoever she is facing and potentially using a melee attack on, that person should try to step under Nex just before she attacks, and then immediately click back on her to red X and attack her 1 game tick later. Nex attacks at a 4 tick pace, which is 1 tick faster than the Osmumten's Fang, which attacks at a 5 tick pace. If you step under her as she's going to attack, then you slow her down by that 1 game tick for each attack that she uses. It may not seem like that big of a deal, but over the course of a 6 to 10 minute fight, that can easily be like 30 less attacks used by Nex, which saves a ton of bruise. If you stand under Nex for too long, she will move around, attempting to step out of it and attack you. This is not ideal, as it does make other players move around too. It's not the end of the world if Nex is moving around, and while you're learning Nex, it is expected you're going to mess up the step under like a few times. Again, I do have a full guide that deep dives into this a little bit more. There's a section of that guide called Nex's Target, which does talk about this same topic. So if you're not managing to get kills with a 4 to 5 player team, it is possible that you need a little more DPS, but if you're similar stats and gear to what we're rocking right here, then you just need to focus on taking less damage during the fight. AC number 1, time for Torva, boys. Nothing, dude. Yo, some combat achievements though. Next veteran, that's just 1 KC. Shadow's move is just nobody getting hit by that shadow attack. Not bad, not bad. Second kill, we have K Scott joining us, so we're up to 5 for the split. Sous Chef did get KO'd by the Contain This attack, so he's out getting KC, so there'll just be 4 of us in the kill, though. While you're trying to learn the fight, the second phase, also known as the Shadow phase, can be a bit of a pain to get through as well. Nex uses range attacks during this phase, and they do more damage if you're standing closer to her, so you can't step under her to slow her attacks down. The goal here is to stand as far back as we can and Dragon Crossbow her down. If she chases anybody, we want to step under as she gets up to us, and then do our best to stay under until she skips away. If Nex is unable to attack somebody for too long, she skips across the room, so this is how you can keep her in the center. Sometimes she will manage to like swing 1 more attack while you're trying to stand under her, like she just gets 1 step out and uses an attack. That will reset the skipping timer. If she's currently using Embrace Darkness when that happens, you need to bail or you're gonna die. In an ideal kill, you never have to run away from Nex during this phase, but not every kill is going to be ideal. Even once you have a bunch of KC, you feel like you're a master at the boss, sometimes just a mistake happens, you're going to have to bail. That's the case for all the mechanics. There's an ideal way to deal with the attacks, but if you make 1 mistake, it's not going to be the end of the world. It's consistently making mistakes throughout the fight will make you run out of supplies by the end of it. Kill count number 2, we got some more combat achievements coming in hot, some easy combat achievement points. And of course, we got rubies. AC 3 for the 6-minute PB. Not much in terms of loot, but that was a pretty good kill, fellas. GG's, boys. KC 4. Hey, the rune ore is pretty good for helping us buy back some supplies, actually. Like Jimmy with another MVP doing some work. We're up to 6 players in the fight at the moment. The more players that we get in the kill, the easier it's going to be. Then, of course, there's a bit less money when we get a unique because we're splitting with more players. Overall, a team of 5 is a very good balance for being a fairly easy kill and still good splits. But to be honest, the worst thing that you can do at Next is try and be real picky with your team size. I've made bank with duo kills. I've made bank with all the way up to 10 plus players in a split. The drops here are very expensive, so you're going to make money either way. KC number 5, and Floods grabs the MVP. Nice, dude. That was a new PB as well. A couple of our potions back. Thank you, Nex. Unfinished Dragon Bolts are paying for supplies before you get a unique. In fact, this Dragon Bolt drop would have been like 150k at the moment instead of the 44k, which would have been nice for keeping afloat. Another combat achievement. Cool beans, Siphon Boy. That's another Floods MVP coming in hot. We got some ecumenical key shards as well. Technically, these are solid. You should never use an ecumenical key on Nex's door. It's significantly more worth it to use it on other God Wars dungeon bosses, like Kriera, for instance. You do need 50 key shards per key, which is kind of a lot, so it's convenient to get some key shards, but like it requires a lot of Nex to collect up a lot of keys. So I do wish that it dropped a few more of these. We'll get some use out of them in a future video, though. Not even those key shards can keep us from getting more KC out here. Since you can stack up a ton of essence as long as you don't die and lose them all, of course. It's fine to just like stack up a bunch before next night. It seems that I've already run out of KC, though. Perfect Next combat achievement coming in hot on me, boyos. Good fight, dude. I got an elite clue scroll as well, which we're gonna be doing nothing with. There's 10 KC right there, the double-digit KC. Drop rate for a unique for the full team is a 1 in 43, so we still have some work to do, unless we get lucky. We have just 3 of us on this kill. That's going to be Floods' first trio attempt. Here we go. So there's not really any difference in tactics to killing Nex in an even smaller team. We have less leeway when it comes to mistakes, and it's even more important to slow down Nex's attacks, mostly by stepping under her if you're being targeted while you're using melee. Phase 1 was pretty slow, to be honest. Nex used the cough attack 3 times, which is a lot since I'm not bringing my face mask. Oops. Phase 2, we skipped her back to the center whenever she ran up, not having to bail at all, which is big for saving some brews. You'll notice when we're fighting Umbra that we have one player, K. Scott, is standing in Nex's attack range, which means he's the only one in the fight right now being targeted by Nex, and then I'm the one person being targeted by Umbra. So actually at this moment, Hallow is not being attacked by anything. He's just getting free DPS. This is a solid setup for taking less damage, but also if Nex decides to run up and melee K. Scott, we know that only he has to run under her and get her to skip back to the center. We know for a fact he's the target. He's the only one she can see right now. The Blood phase was pretty average. Worst part of Blood phase with 3 players is that she can spawn 1 or 2 Blood Reavers when she uses that Siphon attack, and if she spawns 2 Blood Reavers, it can be a little bit slower to deal with them, or they potentially heal her for a bunch of health. It's not usually a problem when it happens one time, but if you are struggling with the phase at all and nobody is slowing her attacks down, and then she's spawning double Blood Reavers like every time she uses that special attack, you might find that you're not making much progress on her health bar, especially in a budget setup. Ice phase, I actually got my ass kicked a little bit. That's just how Ice phase is. You get less opportunities to slow Nex down, and she forces you to stand away from melee range, using a lot of magic attacks often, and magic attacks damage everybody. I had pretty solid potions going into the Zaros phase, but Zaros phase can be a rough one as well. Nex uses Turmoil during this phase. It's a prayer that's like Piety, but a bit stronger, so her melee attacks are pretty powerful, and then she does heal 500 health going into the phase, so we have to do over 1,000 damage to her, and then during a third of the phase, she uses Soul Split, which is a prayer that heals her up, so we take a lot of damage, and we need to do a lot of damage like while she's healing as well. This nearly got me killed. I literally ran out of every single sip of potion I had, though it was also our very first attempt at the 3-player kill with budget gear, so a huge shout out to K. Scott and Hallow for getting that trio kill. Actually, when Hallow first joined us, by the way, at Next Night, he did not have his fire cape yet. This is no dig at Hallow, as he now does have his fire cape, but hopefully that's a little bit more motivation for players who are afraid to get into Nex. It's not like it's a free kill or anything. You do have to learn how to do the next fight. You're still going to die while learning. It's a high-level boss. You'll make some mistakes, but overall, it's really not that hard to get into, and it pays very well. GG's, let's go! The Floods trio. God damn, no way it's double rubies, dude. Come on, man. All right, dude, count it. Eventually, it'll pay really well. The trio kill isn't very comfy in this setup. I would like to be at 4 to 5 more often, but we now proven that we can manage a trio kill if that's all the players that we currently have. Wasn't recording. Rip 97 strength coming in hot. Flood's gonna be like 99 strength by the end of this. Maybe not. These last 2 levels are a lot of XP. Ooh, the Onyx bolts for nearly 300k. That's huge for buying more supplies. And we got some of those supplies directly from Nex right there as well. Thank you, Burge. Woo-hoo-hoo! We made it, boys. 33 shards is pretty thick, though. Whew, that was intense. No, I knew I was pushing it, but god damn it. GG's. Good luck, fellas. In between next nights, I did take the chance to buy more supplies with the bit of money that we do have. Overall, we're spending more money than we're making until we get one of those uniques. That's really the way next goes. With more players or better gear, you could use more food and less brews and really like min-max the amount of money that you're spending between uniques. That's part of the challenge with minimum budget though. Not as easy to do that. I also bought a few more ancient pieces of gear. Each piece of ancient gear that I'm wearing while I get KC gives me a 20% chance to get 1 more extra essence from that kill. So this will shave off a little bit of time when gathering KC to get into the room. Cannonballs, not bad, dude. The 100k plus drops are good for paying off these supplies while we wait patiently for a Torva drop. More Onyx bolts, yo! Cannonballs, hey, that's actually, is that like 3 kills in a row with the 100k plus drop? Very nice, dude. Can't wait to go buy more yellow potions. Am I right, guys? Rune ore and cannonballs on 22kc. Let's fucking go. It's next master at 25 KC, dude. You hear that? You hear that, huh? You hear that, Mom? I'm a next master. MVP rune ore absolutely hits the spot. GG's. Oh, yo, new PB though. Let's go. 516. Hell yeah. Yeah! Count it! No longer trolling me! Rip Archon with the Nile Horn drop. Yo! 41 KC. No, that was at 40. 3 kills before a split drop rate, boys. Let's go, dude. Sheesh. Our first split, and it's a big one. The horn drop is massive. Second most expensive item that we could have gotten. On a 5-man team, that was 56.8 mil a piece. I did hop on the main, and I bought the horn from Rip Archon for his split, and then I split everybody else out. That way, nobody had to leave and go to the Grand Exchange and lose their essence, have to like re-get KC, right? I was running pretty low on supplies at that point, so I did buy some potions off of the main and still had 46 mil GP left over for some upgrades. We did finish out the night with that current setup and then bought upgrades the next day. I got a Hydra Leather for Ferocious Gloves. We got a Necklace of Anguish and an Odium Ward for some ranged DPS. I did get a Blowpipe and some Amethyst Darts. This is going to be a lot faster for getting KC on the Blood Reavers. Also, I can use them on the bodyguards during the fight, like Cruor, Umbra, and those guys. It's a little bit better than using Ruby Bolts when they get to lower health. 50 next KC for Mr. Floodsworson, though. New PB on 61 KC. Very nice, fellas. Very nice. You can see that we've made that time jump to after leagues at this point. These 243 Dragon Bolts are 600k, which is like 2.5k per bolt, so they have started to make their way up. I think at the time I'm recording this, it's more like 3k per Ruby Dragon Bolt. Buying some more supplies from the main, still doing okay with cash. I would like another unique so we could stock up more on potions. After getting the first split, I could have just not bought many upgrades and we could have been like A-okay with potions, but I'm still kind of pushing it a little bit. That's 100 KC for Floods, the triple digit KC. Unfortunately, that's also 60 kills since our only split. That's not necessarily great. All we can do though is just go get more kills. 4 minutes and 56 seconds on the kill. Not bad, not bad. Also, no unique though. For what? It was starting to get a bit rough when it comes to funds. Dragon Bolts and Rune Ore and whatnot are helping keep us afloat, but it had been almost 2 drop rates since our last split, and then a quick disconnection mid-fight really didn't help out with the pace of kills either. Definitely Angie Charmander, dude. Yeah, just a bit, just a bit. Yeah! Oh my god! We finally got an item and it's an ancient hilt! Cosign, oh boy! Holy fuck. It's not necessarily The good one. There's no way, dude. Oh my god. Oh. Let's go, boys. The Ancient Hilt is a 1 in 12 chance once you hit that unique drop table, and it is about 1/3 the price of Zarya Vambraces, which are the second cheapest item. So overall, it's not great to see the Ancient Hilt, but it is better than no unique at all. That is 7.6 mil that I can spend on more potions. Surely there's Torva on the way. It was at this time that I sold off my Carols and did buy some mixed hide top and bottom for the better stab DPS as well. Oh, hey, there was 98 strength in there. Very nice. The Shards and Onyx Bolts combo is actually pretty solid. All right, all right. More Nile Shards. All right, we've actually been cruising on those, I feel like. Let me check just how many shards I'm up to at this point. 400 shards on the dot. Okay, it is pretty solid indeed. That's how many shards that you get, like, on average per unique. It's right around the 400 mark. So, I mean, it's all RNG, but, like, maybe we're close to a drop. We're balling, honestly. Floods is balling. GG's. Yo! Floods worsen! Oh my god. I'm so freaking pumped right now, dude. Bro! Oh my god, dude. Oh. Oh, it actually was. Shout out to this random stranger who went and sold the horn on the Grand Exchange and then brought the money back to us. A 4-man horn split is 66 mil a piece. That again is just massive for gains. We can buy potions for one. Also, I'm getting very close to getting a Void Waker, which is going to be huge for DPS. Not only a huge split, but I got a drop in Floods' name, dude. That was not a requirement on the episode to get a drop in my name here. I really did want at least one drop, though. I thought that would be way better for Eclipse, so I'm pumped right now, dude. I did need to finally buy another Blood Shard. My first Blood Shard wasn't exactly at full 10,000 charges, but it had a good amount of charges left. So we got a fresh Blood Shard and some more potions. Bitch! Stop! What are you doing? I'm standing right next to you. Punch me! Holy fuck! There you go, lady. Punch. Just punch. Like, why are you using magic? That one was fair. He had stepped away for one tick, but now punch. Yeah, there you go, lady. No! No! There you go, yes. The Pepe Mage. GG's, boys. Holy shit. Ah! Zarya Vambraces for Floods worse, and he's crazy. Oh my god, dude. Holy shit. Let's go! Boys, we're rich. Hell yeah, dude. Blood's getting a second drop. Let's fucking go. Now we're really talking, dude. That's our 4th split at 189 KC. So we are catching back up after like a bit of a dry streak between drops 1 and 2. That's a 4-player Vambraces split for 22 mil a piece, dude. No way Floods with a second drop. That is awesome, bro. I now had enough money for a Void Waker and the Light Bearer upgrade. The Void Waker special attack is very powerful at Nex, especially during the Zaros phase. When Nex is deflecting melee, since the Void Waker is like a magic damage attack, or at least the Void Waker spec is magic damage, it just hits right through that prayer, so it's very good for damage during that final phase. That's 200 KC right there. Nice. Nearly 200k on the shards as well. Hell yeah, dude. We're making progress, boyos. Number go up. GG's. Zarya Vambraces! Yo! Kosa with the Vambraces at our boy! Nice, dude. GG's. Let's fucking go, dude. Yes! Oh, that is fucking sweet, dude. Second pair of Vambraces in as many nights? Wait a minute. Another Zarya Vambraces split, this time at 204 KC. We're officially caught back up, and that's another 22 mil split coming in hot. The Vambraces are a bit cheaper than, like, landing Torva finally, but at least it's not another Ancient Hilt. 22 mil is solid progress. That's actually a 2-kill trip right there with a 5-player team. Great job, fellas. No Torva, though, so total waste of our time, I guess. Why is James crying? Because you just got 86 mage with a Void Waker spec. What? GG's. We finished out that Saturday night after getting the Zarya Vambraces split, but didn't get any other uniques. We were just starting to get hot, but I should be over the 100 mil GP profits, so even though that's only 223 KC, I'm very happy with where we're at. I'm up to like 5,600 next KC on my main account as well, so it is fair to say that I was ready to work on another project. After selling off the loot tab and the gear setup, we've got about 171 mil GP. The original tab was around the 50 mil mark, so we're up 120 mil, a little over that 100 mil mark that we've been aiming for. Plus, I've got over 500 ecumenical key shards and most of a Blood Fury remaining at the moment, so that's like 10 mil in value. Not that I could sell back that partial Blood Fury, but I could be using it for even more kills. This was with only 5 splits total as well, which were pretty solid thanks to the horn drops, but we didn't even see any Torva. Either way, the money Burge pays the bills, and this is yet another example of that. Before we wrap up though, if you're looking for a place to find a team for Next, then check out my Discord server, which is linked in the description. When you enter the server, you can give yourself the PVMer role and have access to our group bossing channel. In here, you can post looking for a team for any group content. There's also a video on the pinned message showing you how to use the LFG Finder RuneLite plugin to post a nice looking webhook directly from your RuneLite client. Using this plugin to post like this will also ping the PVMer role for you, hopefully helping you find some teammates. I've only recently revamped this channel to work like this, so we are looking for more PVMers to join in and populate the list, making it even easier to find a team. So join the server, give yourself that PVMer role, and go ahead and try to make some friends, guy. This Get Rich video was a bit of a challenge, going in with Nex, a little bit different with the 40 mil plus starting budget, but next episode we will be back to a solo boss with a much smaller budget. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe for more content, and check out the Get Rich on a Budget playlist, which is hopefully linked in the description. Thank you for watching, and best of luck on your next grinds.